The Democrats' counter-memo to the Republican memo from the House Intel Committee is on its way to the White House tonight. This evening, the committee voted unanimously to release it. Former FBI Supervisory Special Agent, Pennsylvania Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick is here, also a member of the House Homeland Security Committee. Great to have you with us tonight.
Thanks for inviting me.
Okay, so what do you make of this? I mean, it was a unanimous vote. This wasn't a partisan decision, and there's been plenty of Republican support, it seems, for getting the Democrat side out as well.
Well, I think if you support transparency, it's got to be complete transparency. You can't have one memo released without the other. I think what we want is to get the facts out in a manner that's consistent with our national security interests, to make sure it's declassified, that no sources or methods are contained therein, and get the facts out to the American people and let them be the judge.
You served many years within the FBI, so what do you make of this whole conversation? Because there are a lot of folks who are worried about how this is impacting morale. We hear from two different sides. We've had folks sit here saying, what I hear from agents is that they are happy this is happening, they want things cleaned up. Others saying they feel completely under attack, partisan attack at all times, and they think that it's in some way discrediting the agency as a whole, and they want it to stop. Yeah,
no, it breaks my heart to see them going through this, because most people, the overwhelming majority of people that go into the FBI, go in there because they're not political. They want to serve in a law enforcement context, in a national security context. And to see my former agency that I absolutely love the FBI, great people work there, to be injected in this manner is really unfortunate. I blame the extreme partisans on both sides for this. I think what we need to do is really stick to the facts and to the truth, and let the American people judge from there.
I want to play a shot from an analyst over on CNN, Phil Mudd, who was talking about what he's hearing from inside the FBI and how he thinks this will play out. Here's what he said.
Mr. President, you've been around for 13 months. We've been around since 1908. I know how this game is going to be played. We're going to win.
That to a lot of people sounded like it would justify the allegations that the president has made, that there is some sort of shadowy deep state working against him. When you hear something like that, it sounds like a threat. Is that overreading it?
I think everybody needs to tone down the rhetoric on all sides, really, because it's not helping things. This is a very, very serious situation we're dealing with. FISA is incredibly important. One of the reasons why I think this whole process we're going through is important is because Section 702 and Title VII, I worked very, very hard, along with several of my colleagues, to get that reauthorized. It's critically important. I'm an eyewitness to the utility of having that data and preventing terror attacks. But if we're going to have credibility in that argument, we have to be willing to call out potential issues that may exist under Title I and Title III, which is what's at issue now, Title I being electronic surveillance, Title III being physical surveillance of U.S. persons on U.S. soil. And we just need to be honest in the discussion and get those facts out.
Okay, so now the Democratic memo, as I understand it, goes to the White House for the same vetting process with national security, their attorneys. It's a 5-day window. And there have been some concerns raised by Congressman Schiff, the ranking Democrat, of course, on House Intel, saying, I want to make sure that any redactions or changes they make at the White House are not political in nature. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said this today. The Schiff memo was based on the same underlying docs as the partisan, his word, Nunes memo, so there should be no question as to whether or not real Donald Trump will approve the new memo's release. If he refuses, the American people will be forced to wonder, what is he trying to hide? Do you think we see that Democratic memo?
It's just that all that talk is unfortunate. The GOP memo, I can tell you I've read it. It's factual. There's no conclusions drawn. It just recounts facts based on testimony inside the Intel Committee. I read the Democratic memo today. It's going to be more challenging to release that unredacted because our sources and methods contained therein. There's a lot of footnotes, so it's going to require some redactions. I think the important thing is that the facts that are contained in the GOP memo are put in the proper context vis-a-vis the Democrat memo.
All right. By the way, congrats to you and your Eagles.
Thank
Big
you.
win last night.
Very
you and I
excited.
are both Florida State football fans as well, so we have a lot in common. Good to see you.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming
Shannon.
in.
You got it.